All right, so get this. We're diving into Elon Musk,
Well, this should be good.
but not the usual stuff, rockets to Mars, electric cars.
Right, right.
This time we're talking about European politics.
Yeah, he's been pretty vocal lately.
He has, and it's kind of a wild story. It starts in the UK,
Okay.
but then quickly expands across the whole continent.
I'm intrigued.
And it raises some really big questions about, tech power and political influence.
Yeah, the whole landscape is changing so fast.
Exactly.
Ah,
So today we're going deep on this whole Elon Musk Europe thing,
sounds good.
figuring out, what's he actually saying? Who is he supporting?
Right. And the big one,
Why should anyone care?
especially if you're not, sitting in Brussels.
Exactly.
Yes.
So
That's a good question.
let's start with the UK, because that's where things kind of kicked off. And this is where it gets interesting.
Okay.
It all starts with this thing called the UK grooming scandal.
Right. Yeah, this was horrific, really.
Yeah. It involved, the abuse of young girls in a bunch of towns in England.
Mm.
Rotherham is the one everyone knows about.
Yeah, most well-known case for sure, and it's sparked a lot of debate in the UK.
It has, and this is where Musk jumps in head first.
Oh, really?
He's calling for new elections and throwing his support behind Nigel Farage.
Farage, the Reform UK party leader, right?
Oh, one and only.
Now he's a how do we say this politely? A controversial figure.
Yeah, bit of a lightning rod, known for his stance on immigration.
And his big role in Brexit, of course.
Of course. So Musk is wading into this really sensitive issue, and it gets even more complicated.
Oh, how so?
Because then he starts criticizing the current prime minister, Keir Starmer.
Yeah, Starmer.
And this is where it gets interesting, because Starmer was actually the head of the Crown Prosecution Service back when some of this abuse was happening.
Oh, wow. So Musk is saying he didn't do enough to stop it.
Yeah, basically. And it's kind of a weird angle because Starmer was in charge of prosecuting these abusers.
Right. So it's not like he was ignoring the problem.
Exactly. And then it gets even crazier.
I'm almost afraid to ask.
Musk starts calling for the release of Tommy Robinson.
Tommy Robinson, now that's a name that gets a reaction.
Right. He's a far-right figure who got jailed for contempt of court.
Okay.
But Musk is claiming that Robinson is imprisoned for telling the truth.
For telling the truth.
Linking it back to this whole grooming scandal.
Even though Robinson's conviction was from a totally separate trial.
Exactly. It's all a bit tangled.
It is a bit, isn't it? But it seems like Musk is tapping into some very real anger and anxieties surrounding this grooming scandal.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And he's using it to promote, certain political ideas.
It's definitely a headache for the UK government.
I bet it is.
They can't just ignore him.
No, not with his reach.
He's super popular, especially with young British men.
Right, right. He's got that whole, rebel billionaire image going for him.
Exactly. So how do you deal with someone like that?
Especially when they're wading into these sensitive issues.
It's a tough one.
No easy answers there. And here's the thing about this whole UK situation.
What's that?
It's just the tip of the iceberg when it comes to Musk and Europe.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's just getting started.
So this is like a European tour of controversy.
You could say that.
All right. So where does he go next?
Well, buckle up because next stop is Hungary.
Hungary. All right. This is getting interesting.
It is, yeah. So in Hungary, he meets with Prime Minister Viktor Orban.
Orban.
Yeah.
Okay. So he's known for shaking things up a bit, right?
Some would say he's a bit of a strongman figure, his views on democracy and immigration.
Right. And LGBTQ plus rights.
Yeah, those two. So it's definitely interesting that Musk chose to meet with him.
It's like he's going for a certain type of leader, someone who's...
Was willing to challenge the norms.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And it's not just about who he's meeting with.
No.
It's also how he's using X to support certain political movements.
Oh, yeah, good point.
Like take Germany, for example.
Germany. Okay.
He's come out and publicly supported the AfD party.
The AfD now, that's the far-right party, right?
Yep, the one that's been accused of having some pretty extreme views.
On immigration nationalism.
All of that, yeah.
And they've been gaining ground in Germany.
They have, which has a lot of people worried.
Yeah, especially given Germany's history.
It's a sensitive topic, for sure.
So for Musk to openly support them, it's a bold move.
It is. And then there's Romania.
Romania. What happened there?
Remember the presidential election that got annulled because of concerns about Russian interference?
Oh, yeah.
Well, Musk was not happy about that. He actually called the judges dictators.
Wow, dictators. That's a strong word.
It is.
So he's not holding back.
Nope, not at all.
Okay, so we've got Hungary, we've got Germany, we've got Romania.
And we can't forget Italy.
Oh, right, Italy.
Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni.
Meloni, yeah, her party has roots in post-war fascism, right?
That's right.
So this isn't just about Musk, disagreeing with certain policies.
Mm.
He's actively aligning himself with some pretty controversial figures.
Yeah, it's like he's seeking them out.
It seems that way. So the question is why?
Yeah, why is he doing all of this?
Well, some people think it all comes down to business.
Business.
Yeah, Musk has been pretty vocal about his dislike for government regulations, especially when it comes to tech.
Oh yeah, he said that regulations stifle innovation.
Exactly. He sees them as obstacles.
So is he trying to back leaders who will give him a free pass?
Maybe. I mean, he's already clashed with the European Commission over their attempts to regulate X.
He even called the EU undemocratic, didn't he?
He did, and he demanded a bigger role for the European Parliament.
Hmm.
So it makes you wonder, is this genuine concern about democracy, or is it about protecting his own interests?
It's hard to say.
Yeah, because on the one hand, a platform like X has huge power to shape public opinion, control the flow of information.
Which is kind of scary if it's being used to push a certain agenda.
It is, and this isn't just a European issue. We've seen similar concerns in the U.S.
About social media amplifying extremist voices.
Exactly, and potentially undermining democracy.
So what are the potential consequences of all this?
Well, some researchers are worried that Musk could actually empower far-right groups disrupt decision-making in the EU.
Hold on, really? How could he do that?
Think about it. He's got millions of followers on X, and he's not afraid to use that platform to promote his views.
Yet, even if they're controversial.
Exactly. That kind of reach, that influence, it could be used to mobilize people, spread misinformation.
Even so, Discourse.
Exactly. It's a powerful tool.
One former European commissioner even called Musk a promoter of evil.
Wow, promoter of evil. That's pretty harsh.
It is, but it shows how concerned some people are.
Yeah, they see Musk as a threat to democratic values.
So are we saying that Musk is single-handedly trying to destroy democracy in Europe?
No, it's not that simple, but
Yeah.
his actions definitely raise some big questions.
About the role of technology, wealth, power.
All of it, how it's shaping our world, and it makes you think, is this just about Elon Musk, or is he part of a bigger trend?
The bigger trend, what do you mean?
Well, this convergence of tech, power, wealth, political influence, it's happening everywhere.
So what does it all mean?
I think it means we need to pay attention. We can't be complacent.
We need to be aware of how these forces are shaping our world.
Exactly. And be willing to ask the tough questions.
Yeah, it's a lot to think about. We started with this UK thing, and now we're talking about the fate of democracy.
It is a bit wild, isn't it?
It is, and it all comes back to this question of influence,
Right.
People with money and platforms, they can really sway things.
They can, and we're seeing it play out all over the world, not just Europe.
Exactly.
It's something we need to be talking about everywhere.
Okay, so we've established that Musk is a player in European politics. But what does it actually mean for, regular people?
Yeah, that's the key question, isn't it?
Like, how does any of this affect someone listening to this right now?
Right, because it's easy to just dismiss this as, political drama.
Yeah.
But these actions, they can have real-world consequences.
Like, what kind of consequences?
Well, think about how policies on things like technology, social media, even immigration could be influenced by the leaders Musk is supporting.
Okay.
Those policies impact people's lives.
So we need to be paying attention.
We do.
But what can we actually do about it?
That's the tough part, isn't
It's
it?
not like we can call up Elon Musk and, tell him what to do.
No, but we can become more informed, more engaged citizens.
What do you mean by that?
Well, we can support organizations that are working to protect democracy,
Okay.
hold powerful individuals accountable,
Right.
and be more critical of what we see online, especially on platforms like X.
Yeah, don't just believe everything you read.
Exactly. Think for yourself. Do your research.
Good advice. This whole deep dive has been a real eye-opener for me.
Me too.
It shows how these seemingly random events are all connected.
They are. It's a much bigger picture than we often realize.
So what's the takeaway here?
Well, I think the main thing is that we need to stay informed, stay engaged.
And be willing to ask the tough questions.
Exactly, because that's how we protect ourselves and make sure our voices are heard.
Well, folks, there you have it. From a UK scandal to a global power play.
It's been quite a journey.
It has, and we've only scratched the surface.
There's so much more to explore here.
So if you found this deep dive interesting, be sure to like and subscribe for more.
We'll be back with more fascinating topics.
See you on the next one.